Look, guys, I have something to say. There's been something that's been bugging me since the last chapter, since the last video. I didn't say it. I thought about it after I finished the whole chapter and the whole video. But I have to say it.
Do it!
How?
Just do it!
How in the world did Bilbo got this feeling, this weird like shut the door. You know how he told the dwarves, Thorin, he was like, okay, they were on the side of the mountain. Bilbo is burned as the author describes Bilbo as because the dragon burned him in their last interactions, blah blah blah. Bilbo thought stupidly, dumbly about making fun of a huge fire-breathing dragon. Hey, that's okay. But he made that decision. He ran like he ran out of there, but still the fire caught him. He was burned. Sorry, I'm still talking about the last chapter, but I have to say it.
Bruh.
He's just like staying alive because he's burned. I don't know, second, third degree burns, or I don't know the extent of the burns, but whatever. They are talking about how silence can be a trigger of or a signal, a sign that something's about to go down or that something's wrong. Because and I don't know, it's a weird feeling. I feel so, identified with that same thing. Is there some science behind this? I have no clue, but I feel that thing, that idea, that stuff, it's very real. Whenever bad stuff is going to happen, silence is more silent than normal, if that makes any sense. And that's what Bilbo described on the end of the last chapter. He was like, I don't feel right, shut the door. And his voice was so full with fear that Thorin, Tolkien himself writes like Thorin was like, he felt the fear in the voice, so he shut the door. This is what's mind-blowing. The second he shut the door, first of all, they knew they were stuck in because they went to so much trouble to get it open in the first place, all with the sun rays and all that stuff. The door was permanently closed now. At least that it appeared that way. But the other thing they noticed is that the second they shut the door, some huge earthquake happened. Rocks were falling from the ceiling of the little tunnel and everything. And they realized that smog was hitting the side of the mountain. Everything was going to fall, to break. It was all a mess. It was chaos. I'm like reading that in the last chapter. I don't know why I didn't mention that. I mean, maybe I was just in shock after I started finished reading. But I was like, how can these people have so much luck?
Bruh.
Because at the end of the day, how can I put this in terms of pure logic and reason? Bilbo had a weird feeling. He said to Thorin, shut the door. He closed the door. Everything, 1 second late, 2 seconds late, they could be dead. All of them. The whole dwarves, Bilbo, everything. And Bilbo, he's alive by pure luck again. And one thing, I have to be 100% honest with you guys. The whole series is called The Lord of the Rings.
Easy!
So, obviously, the rings are this maximum potency of whatever, of power. Bilbo has one of the rings. I don't even know if there are multiple rings. Lord of the Rings, I guess there are multiple rings. But, again, I'm going back to this hypothesis of mine. Does the ring gives the handler or whatever luck, or the people around the one that has a ring a lot of luck? Because there's no other way to put this. They have survived so much stuff. Hey, I'm just, I guess, an adult reading a children's book, a children's story. There's a lot of things that I'm putting in and out, and I'm trying to reason through it. Maybe I'm just nitpicking a lot of But I mean, that's the way I'm reacting to it. Okay guys, this wasn't meant to be the intro of the video, but I had to share this because I don't know why I didn't think about this specific point in the last chapter. But okay, let's get into this video. Remix again. Today we're gonna read chapter 13. If I didn't say it before, my name is Orlando Mortel, and this is Mortel Dynamics. So let's get on with this chapter. This chapter's title is Not at Home, okay? It seems to be a short chapter, so I mean, I can't stop reading this book at by this moment. I mean, there's so much happening right now, so I just want to get on with it. But first, before that, please remember to follow me on the Instagram page at Mortel Dynamics and at Goodreads at what is it, Orlando Mortel or Mortel Dynamics? I don't remember. I'll put it in the link below. But okay, now let's get on with the video. Okay, I mean, I just finished reading the first paragraph. I'm not even deep in this chapter.
That's what she said?
But I just want to say that putting myself in their shoes, I mean the dwarves and Bilbo, they have gone through so much stuff. At this point, I know they can feel almost the end of their adventure. I mean, they are at the very end. They will either die or get what they want, but they won't quit. I know them. I mean, I've been with them for 12 chapters. They almost died, and now Tolkien says that they sat in pure darkness and utter silence fell about them. I don't know about you guys, but you know, whenever something, I don't know if you guys have ever had any car accidents or something. I have my fair share of car accidents, and whenever something huge happens that you could have died, the next step or the next phase that comes to you is that like this moment of shock, like, first of all, I'm alive, second of all, what just happened, and third of all, what? You know, I feel that's what the dwarves and Bilbo are feeling right now. Like, they could have died, and now they are in complete silence, in complete darkness. On one side, you can't exit anymore, the door's shut, I guess, forever, and now on the other side is the dragon. That, by the way, I'm thinking it has to be a long tunnel, because if I were the dragon, I would keep shooting flames up the tunnel, because eventually the flames will catch them, or the tunnel will get so like hot that it will kill them. The only way it seems that wouldn't work is if the tunnel is so long that it wouldn't have any effect on them. I don't know, maybe I'm just so into the story that I'm just trying to understand them. Okay guys, honestly, I feel so nervous for Bilbo. I feel I'm inside the story. I mean, hey, that's just me being honest here, because they gave way. I mean, they were inside the tunnel, so dark, they don't know what to do. Now, like, the dwarves are getting desperate, they're freaking out. Bilbo says, hey, calm down, I've been down there before. Either way, whatever we want to do, the only way out of this tunnel is through the dragon's lair. We don't know if he's there anymore. He might be, he might not, whatever. Let's go down there, let's see what's going on. So they were walking down. It was so dark that Bilbo fell on his face whenever they like got to the actual place, to the dragon's lair. And when I read that, I just like froze reading that in my mind, because I'm like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Because I mean, he died, but he didn't, because Smaug wasn't there. It's just all so dark without Smaug there, which begs the question, what does Smaug have that makes light? Is it that he breathed fire onto some candle of sorts and there's light whenever Smaug's there? Because I doubt that Smaug is a light source in and out of itself. You know what I mean? So But the point is that Bilbo is like screaming like, light, light, give me some light. And the dwarves are just, so fearful that they just crawl. I can imagine them like crawling down in fetal position in the exact place where he left them when he fell. And they don't want to answer because I'm thinking they don't know if it's a trap of Smaug or whatever. Bilbo kept like screaming until Thorin gave way. He gave him a torch of some kind, and now he's exploring the cave. This exact moment is so nerve-wracking to me that I don't know. I just want to finish this chapter. Okay. So quick update. They are all in the halls of the treasure. All the dwarves are perplexed. Is it the right word? Perplexed of or for all the treasure. They don't have any more pockets to put more treasure into them. Or, obviously there's more than they can carry. The point is that a very, important point is that when Bilbo was exploring the whole hall, the whole dark hall without any light or whatever, he stole the most important gem, or the white gem or whatever, which is their Arkansas.
What?
What's the name of that jewel? The Arkenstone. The Arkenstone, it's white and it's like, I don't know what is it. The point is that it's like the most precious jewel in the whole treasure. So he stole that, he put it in his pocket. The way the author described it is like the stone has some type of magic in it that it like perplexes the one that takes it, and you could be like, time can pass real fast if you are like looking at it or something. But my question is, now they are all trying to escape the whole cave, the whole tunnel. They are walking up some type of stairs. They are almost out of the cave. But my question now is, whenever the dragon was introduced into the story, it was described like this huge, massive, and just unimaginable sized dragon. How can you be so big and still be on a cave that was made for and by dwarves? You know what I mean? How can you walk downstairs that were made for dwarves? Dwarves are small, and even if they're not, the way the dragon was described, they are way smaller than a dragon. So how can a dragon be inside this lair or of some sorts? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. Okay. Curious question. I don't know why it came to me, but it came. Why does the dragon hate the dwarves so much? When the concept of a dragon was introduced into the story, Tolkien just said that, I don't know, dragons just like to steal, they're bad, they destroy, and they make themselves like the owners of stolen stuff, specifically from dwarves. If I get it correctly, elves have a lot of treasures too. Elves have their own communities too. And I don't say goblins because those piece of no disrespect, they are just awful. They don't seem the type of species that would be attracted to real treasures. Their treasures are like tortured beings or whatever. The point is that, is there some part of this history in this world that make dragons hate dwarves particularly? And by the way, and this chapter, or was it in the previous one? Oh, I think it was in the previous one where Smaug and Bilbo were having this exchange. that the author explained that the dragon wasn't how do I say this? He wasn't familiar with the smell of hobbits. For all I know, for all the reader knows, the dragon doesn't even know what hobbits are. So I guess maybe dragons are not. I guess dragons are not very familiar with all the species in the world, but at the same time, how can that be? I mean, I think it was written that they live for so long. I mean, I don't want to say they're immortal or live forever, but they live a long, long time. I mean, if we're saying that he stole that from Thor, and Thorin is Thor's great grandson, I mean, that's more than 100 years right there. So, I mean, this whole dragon situation has me all confused. The other thing I want to say before continue to read is that they are too calm. The dwarves and Bilbo, they are exploring the whole cave and everything, and it's like they're not super conscious of the fact that the dragon hasn't been killed or dealt with. The dragon is still there, probably killing or burning the shit out of the town, the lake town, was it called, or Esgaroth? Is it the same thing? Who knows? But the point is that the dragon is still alive, and they are walking like it's just another day in Middle Earth or whatever this part of the world's called with. Which, parenthesis, is it Middle Earth or is it Wilderland? Which, I mean, maybe I'm confusing two different spots. Is this a city? Is Middle Earth the whole planet or whatever? Who knows? Okay, guys, so I'm done with chapter 13, Not at Home, which it was obviously about they exploring Smoug's cave or Smoug's lair, and he wasn't there. I guess he is burning and killing and doing whatever to the lakemen, because that's the last thing he said. He said like, oh, if the dwarves didn't come from there, at the very least, the lakemen helped them get here. So he's probably torturing and doing lots of bad, horrible stuff to them. I don't know what else to say about this chapter. I mean, I'm at the point in the book where I just want to keep reading and know what happens, because I mean, there's like, what, 30 pages left in this book. I mean, I can't wait anymore. One thing I will say before finishing this chapter or video has nothing to do with the story. It just filled me with curiosity. In the first page of this chapter, it says that Bilbo told the dwarves that come, he said, while there is life, there's hope. I mean, I don't know if that phrase, while there's life, there's hope, is original of j.r.r. Tolkien, but I know, I mean, being very, how can I say this? Being very attracted to physics, that phrase is very famous of Stephen Hawking. Those of you that have seen his biographical movie, read about him, or whatever, are physics students or some stuff. He was very famous for saying, while there's life, there's hope.
While there is life, there is hope.
Hey, I know for a fact that Hawking wasn't religious, so I don't know if he would be attracted to Tolkien. Not that you have to be religious to be attracted to Tolkien, but I don't know if Hawking, with all due respect, would be open to reading books written by a religious man. I mean, he was very, very, very smart, very intelligent, genius level, IQ 160 or very close to that, but he's still human. But I don't know. Hey, I'm just babbling here about that phrase. It's just, I've heard that phrase so much from Stephen Hawking that when I read it here at the beginning of this chapter, it just, turned my light bulb up. So guys, that's it for chapter 13. Next chapter will be chapter 14. Let's see what, I think it's some fire or something, fire and water. Probably fire because the village where they came from the lake men, it's all burned up. I don't know if that's it, but it makes all the sense in the world. Please guys, remember to follow me on Instagram at Martel Dynamics and to follow me on Goodreads too. I'll leave the link down below. Please, again, remember, you do what you want to do. I won't force you to anything, but if you're not reading these books, don't watch these videos. It's just gonna spoil you, okay? I'm just trying to help you. Either read the book with me, chapter by chapter, watch the movie or anything, but me, personally, I haven't watched any movies at all. I haven't seen any spoiler, meme, or whatever. I've told you that in the very first video of this series. But hey, that's just me. But with that in mind, see you in the next chapter. Bye.